is Lily. I am 29 years old. I live in a small apartment in a quiet city. My window looks out onto a big oak tree. I love watching the leaves change color. In the morning, the sun shines through the leaves. It makes patterns on my wall. My life today is very peaceful. It is calm. I feel happy. But it was not always this way. For a long time, my life was a storm. My heart was full of rain. This story is about that storm. And it is about the sun that came after the rain. It is about a boy who I loved very much. His name was Leo. And it is about how he came back. He came back when I was finally happy. He knocked on my door when the tears had finally stopped. I met Leo in college. I was very young. I was only 19 years old. I was shy. I did not have many friends. I liked to sit in the library and read books. He was different. He was full of life. He had many friends. He laughed a lot. His laugh was loud and warm. It filled up the whole room. I thought he was like the sun, bright and beautiful. I never thought he would notice me, a quiet girl in the library. But he did. One afternoon, I was reading in my usual corner. I dropped my pen. It rolled under a table. I bent down to get it. When I came back up, he was standing there. He was smiling at me. "You like books," he said. It was not a question. It was a statement. I just nodded. I could not find my voice. My heart was beating so fast. "I see you here all the time," he said. "You are always reading." I finally found my words. "Yes, I like stories," I whispered. "Me too," he said, and his smile got bigger. "What's your name?" "Lily," I said. "I'm Leo," he replied. "It's nice to meet you, Lily." That was how it started. So simple. A dropped pen, a warm smile. After that day, he started talking to me more. He would find me in the library. He would walk with me to my classes. He asked me questions about my favorite books, about my dreams. No one had ever asked me about my dreams before. He listened. He really listened. I started to feel less shy around him. I started to laugh with him. His world was bright and exciting, and he was inviting me into it. He asked me out on a date. We went for a walk in a big park. The trees were tall. The air was fresh. He held my hand. His hand was warm and strong. It felt so right. I felt safe. I felt seen. For a shy girl like me, that was everything. We talked for hours. He told me about his family. He told me about his dream to travel the world. His eyes sparkled when he talked about his dreams. I loved that sparkle. I fell in love with him very fast. It was an easy fall, like falling into a soft bed. He was my first love, my everything. I thought we would be together forever. I really believed that. We spent all our time together. We studied together. We ate together. We dreamed together. He would say, "One day, Lily, we will see the pyramids in Egypt." And I would close my eyes and imagine it. Me and Leo holding hands under the hot sun. Our whole lives ahead of us. He told me he loved me. We were sitting by a small lake one evening. The stars were out. The moon was a silver line in the sky. He turned to me. His eyes were serious. "I love you, Lily," he said. My heart felt like it was going to burst. No one had ever said those words to me. "I love you too, Leo," I said. And I meant it with every piece of my small, quiet heart. The years after college were good too. At first, we got a small apartment together. It was our first home. We didn't have much money. Our furniture was old, but we were happy. Or I was happy. I thought he was happy too. We painted the walls a bright, sunny yellow. We cooked dinner together. Sometimes we danced in the kitchen to old songs on the radio. Those are the memories that hurt the most. The simple, happy memories. I got a job at a flower shop. I loved being around flowers, the colors, the smells. It was a calm, happy job. Leo got a job at a marketing company. It was a busy job. He worked long hours. He started coming home late. He was often tired. The dancing in the kitchen stopped. We ate dinner in front of the television. He was always looking at his phone, answering emails, taking calls. "It's just for a little while," he would say. "I need to work hard now for our future." I believed him. I supported him. I made his dinner. I kept our little yellow apartment clean and peaceful for him. I waited for him to come home every night. Sometimes I would fall asleep on the sofa, waiting. Slowly, things started to change. It was not one big thing. It was 100 small things, 100 little cuts to my heart. He stopped holding my hand when we walked down the street. He stopped asking about my day at the flower shop. He forgot my birthday. He said he was just busy, stressed from work. I made excuses for him because I loved him, because I didn't want to see the truth. The truth was, he was drifting away, like a boat sailing out to sea. And I was standing on the shore, watching him get smaller and smaller. I tried to talk to him. "Leo, are you okay?" I would ask. "Are we okay?" "Of course, we're okay," he would say. But he wouldn't look at me. His eyes would be on his phone or on the TV. "Don't worry so much, Lily. You're too emotional." His words made me feel small, like my feelings were wrong. So I stopped talking. I stopped asking. I just became quieter. The silence in our sunny yellow apartment grew bigger. It became heavy. I felt lonely, so incredibly lonely, even when he was sitting right next to me. I remember one night very clearly. It was our 5-year anniversary. I cooked his favorite meal. I bought a small cake. I put on a nice dress. I waited for him and waited. He came home very late, after midnight. He had forgotten. He didn't even notice the nice dinner, the cake, my dress. "Sorry, I had to work late," he said. He went straight to the bedroom. I stood alone in the kitchen. I looked at the beautiful meal, now cold. I looked at the little cake, and I blew out the single candle by myself. A tear rolled down my cheek. It was the first of many, many tears. The end came a few months after that. It was a Tuesday, a normal, gray Tuesday. He came home from work at the usual time. He didn't eat the dinner I made. He sat me down on the sofa, the same sofa where we used to cuddle and watch movies. He looked at me. His eyes were not sparkling anymore. They were just tired. "Lily," he said. His voice was quiet. "I can't do this anymore." I didn't understand. "Do what?" I asked. My heart started to beat very fast, but this time it was from fear. "This," he said, and he waved his hand around our little apartment. "Us. I feel trapped. I need to be on my own. I need to find myself." Find himself? The words felt like a slap. What did that even mean? What about me? What about us? What about the pyramids in Egypt? I felt confused. "But I love you," I said. It was all I could say. My mind was empty. "I know," he said. And this was the part that broke me. "But I don't think I love you anymore." And just like that, the world stopped. The sun fell out of the sky. My heart, my whole heart, shattered into a million tiny, sharp pieces. He packed a bag. He didn't say much else. He just said he was sorry. Then he walked out the door. He closed it softly behind him. And I was left alone, in our sunny yellow apartment, with a giant, heavy silence. The days after he left are a blur, a gray, painful blur. I cried. I cried so much I thought I would run out of tears. My body ached from crying. My head hurt. I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. The sunny yellow walls felt like they were mocking me. Our happy color. I stayed in bed for days. The flowers in the vase on our table wilted and died. Just like my heart. My boss from the flower shop called me. "Lily, are you okay? You haven't come to work." I couldn't speak. I just cried into the phone. She was a kind woman. She understood. "Take your time, dear," she said. My friends tried to help. They brought me food. I didn't eat it. They tried to talk to me. I didn't have any words. I just sat there, a ghost in my own apartment. I would look at his side of the bed. It was empty. His clothes were gone from the closet. His toothbrush was gone from the bathroom. It was like he was never there. But he was everywhere, in every room, in every memory. I thought I was going to die from the pain. It was a physical pain, a heavy stone in my chest. I couldn't breathe sometimes. I would see a couple holding hands on the street, and I would have to run into a store to hide my tears. I would hear a song on the radio, our song, and my day would be ruined. This went on for months, a long, dark winter of sadness. I lost weight. I looked pale. My eyes were always red and swollen. I didn't recognize the person in the mirror. Who was this sad, broken girl? Where was Lily? The girl who loved books and flowers. She was gone. Leo had taken her with him. One day, I was sitting on the floor, surrounded by old photos of us. Leo smiling, me smiling, us happy. I was crying as usual. But then something happened. The sun came out from behind a cloud. A single ray of sunlight came through the window. It landed on a photo of me, just me. It was taken before I met Leo. I was on a family trip. I was standing on a beach, smiling a real, big smile. My eyes were sparkling, just like his used to. I stared at that photo for a long time. I remembered that girl. She was happy. She was whole, all by herself. And I thought, where did she go? I missed her. I wanted her back. For the first time in a long time, I felt something other than sadness. It was a tiny feeling, a little spark of anger. I was angry at Leo for taking that girl away from me. But I was also angry at myself for letting her disappear. That was the turning point. The moment I decided I could not live in this gray world of tears anymore. It was time to find Lily again. It was the hardest thing I have ever had to do. The first step was small, very small. I got out of bed. I took a shower. I got dressed. I walked to the kitchen and I threw away the dead flowers. Then I went outside. I just walked. I walked for a long time. I looked at the trees. I looked at the sky. I felt the sun on my face. It was a start. The next day, I went back to the flower shop. My boss gave me a big hug. "It's good to see you, Lily," she said. It felt good to be back, to touch the soft petals of the flowers, to smell their sweet perfume. It was something simple, something real, something that was just mine. I started to build a new life for myself, one small brick at a time. I knew I couldn't live in the sunny yellow apartment anymore. It held too many ghosts, too many memories. So I found a new place. This place. My small apartment with the big oak tree outside the window. It was small. It was empty at first, but it was mine. I painted the walls a soft, calm blue, like the sky on a clear day. I started to do things alone. It was scary at first. I used to do everything with Leo. Now, I had to learn to do things by myself. I went to the grocery store alone. I went to the movies alone. I even went to a restaurant and ate dinner alone. I brought a book with me. I felt a little awkward, but also proud. I was doing it. I was surviving. I joined a book club. It met every Wednesday at the local library, the same library where I met Leo. For a moment, I was scared to go back there. But I told myself, this is my place too. I will not let him take it from me. The book club was wonderful. I met new people, people who loved stories as much as I did. We talked about books. We drank tea. We laughed. I made friends, real friends. Sarah, a funny teacher, and Tom, a kind old man who told amazing stories. They didn't know about Leo. They just knew me, Lily, the girl who loved books. I started a small garden on my balcony. I planted flowers and herbs. I liked getting my hands dirty. I liked watching the tiny seeds grow into beautiful plants. It felt like a symbol of my own life. I was slowly, carefully growing again. Healing was not a straight line. It was messy. There were good days, days when I felt strong and happy. I would wake up and feel the peace in my quiet apartment. I would water my plants. I would go to work. I would meet my friends from the book club. On those days, I didn't think about Leo at all. But there were bad days too. Days when a memory would hit me like a wave. A sad song. The smell of his old cologne on a stranger. On those days, the heavy stone would come back to my chest. I would cry. I would feel that deep, familiar loneliness. But the bad days became less frequent. The waves of sadness became smaller. And I learned to be patient with myself. It's okay to feel sad sometimes. It's okay to miss what you lost. But it's not okay to stay there forever. I spent 2 years rebuilding my life. 2 whole years, brick by brick. I built a life that was quiet, simple, and all mine. I was not the same shy girl from the library. I was stronger. I found my own voice. I learned that I could be happy on my own. I didn't need a man to be my son. I could be my own son. I remember the day I realized I was truly happy. It was a Saturday morning in spring. I woke up early. The sun was shining through my window, making those beautiful patterns on my blue wall. I made myself a cup of tea. I sat on my balcony, surrounded by my flowers. I could hear birds singing in the big oak tree. I took a deep breath, and I felt it. A deep, real, peaceful happiness. It wasn't loud or exciting. It was quiet and steady, like a calm, clear lake. My heart felt whole again. The sharp pieces were gone. The scars were still there, maybe, but they didn't hurt anymore. I smiled. A real, big smile. The smile of the girl from the old photograph. I had found her again. Life was good. My flower shop was doing well. My friendships were strong. My little blue apartment was my safe, happy place. The storm was over. The sun was shining. I was happy. Truly, deeply happy. And that's when he came back. It was a Thursday evening. It was raining softly outside. I was at home, cooking dinner, listening to music. I was happy. The doorbell rang. I wasn't expecting anyone. I thought maybe it was a package. I opened the door, and there he was. Leo. He was standing in the rain. He looked different, older, thinner. His eyes were tired. The sparkle was completely gone. He was holding a small bouquet of flowers. They were wet from the rain. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. It felt like seeing a ghost from a different life. "Lily," he said. His voice was just a whisper. My mind went blank. I just stared at him. All the memories, good and bad, came rushing back. The walks in the park, the dancing in the kitchen, the cold dinner on our anniversary, his words, "I don't think I love you anymore." "What are you doing here, Leo?" I finally managed to say. My voice was steady. It surprised me. "Can I come in?" he asked. "Just for a minute, please." I hesitated. Part of me, a very small, old part, wanted to slam the door in his face. But the new me, the stronger me, was curious. I needed to hear what he had to say. I needed this final chapter to close. So, I stepped aside and let him in. He stood awkwardly in my small living room. He looked around, at my blue walls, at my books, at my plants on the balcony. Your place is nice, he said. Thank you, I said. I didn't offer him a seat. I just stood there waiting. He looked down at the wet flowers in his hand. These are for you, he said, holding them out to me. I didn't take them. He put them down on my small table. Lily, I am so sorry, he said, looking up at me. His eyes were full of something, regret, sadness. Leaving you was the biggest mistake of my life. I didn't say anything. I just listened. I was stupid, he continued. I was lost. I thought I needed something more, something exciting. I thought the world was this big adventure I was missing out on. He took a shaky breath. But it wasn't. It was just empty. I traveled. I got a new job. I met new people. But nothing felt right. Nothing was real, because you weren't there. He took a step closer to me. I saw you a few weeks ago, he said. You were walking out of the library with your friends. You were laughing. You looked happy, so happy. And it hit me like a punch to the stomach. I lost that. I threw that away. I threw you away. Tears were starting to form in his eyes. The old Lily would have cried with him. The old Lily would have hugged him and said, "It's okay." But I wasn't the old Lily anymore. I am happy, Leo, I said. My voice was calm and clear. It took me a long time to get here. It took a lot of tears, a lot of lonely nights. But I did it. I built a life for myself, a life that I love. I know, he whispered. And I'm so sorry I wasn't part of it. I'm sorry I caused you so much pain. I was a fool, a selfish fool. I miss you, Lily. I miss us. I love you. I never stopped loving you. I was just too stupid to see it. There they were, the words I had wanted to hear for so long, the words I had cried myself to sleep wishing for. I love you. But hearing them now, they felt different. They felt empty. Too little, too late. I looked at him, the man I had loved with all my heart, the man who had shattered me into a million pieces. And I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel hate. I didn't even feel love anymore. I just felt a quiet sadness for the girl I used to be, for the love we used to have. You broke my heart, Leo, I said softly. You left me when I needed you most. I had to learn how to live without you. I had to learn how to put all those broken pieces of my heart back together by myself. It was the hardest thing I have ever done. I took a deep breath, and I did it. I am whole now, on my own. The life I have now, this peace, this happiness, I built it. And I will not let you come back and break it again. He started to cry openly now. Please, Lily, he begged. Give me another chance. I've changed. I'll spend the rest of my life making it up to you. My heart ached for him a little, for his sadness. But it ached more for myself, for the respect I had finally found for myself. It's too late, Leo, I said, and the words were true. They felt solid and real. I'm not the same person you left. That girl is gone. She cried all her tears for you, and she's not coming back. I have a new life now, a life that doesn't include you. I walked to the door and opened it. The rain was still falling softly outside. I think you should go, I said. He looked at me, his face wet with tears. He saw the look in my eyes. He knew it was over, really over. He nodded slowly. He walked past me, out into the rain, without saying another word. I closed the door. I leaned against it for a moment. I didn't cry. I felt a strange mix of emotions. Sadness for the end of a long story, but also relief. A deep, profound sense of peace. It was truly finished. I walked over to the table and picked up the wet flowers he had brought. I looked at them for a moment. Then I walked to the kitchen and I put them in the trash. I didn't need them. I had my own garden. My life is still quiet. It is still simple, but it is full. It is full of good friends, good books, and the smell of flowers from my balcony. I am happy, not because of a man, but because of me. Because I was strong enough to heal. I was brave enough to build a new life. And I was wise enough to know that some love stories are not meant to have a happy ending. They are just meant to teach you how to love yourself. If you are listening to my story, maybe your heart is broken too. Maybe you are in the middle of your own storm. Please know this. The rain will stop. The sun will come out again. It takes time. It takes courage. It takes many, many small steps. But you can do it. You can heal. You can build a life that is beautiful and all your own. You are stronger than you think. Your happiness is worth fighting for. Protect it. Cherish it. You can do this too. Keep going.